We're talking about a project that the Written by Kids group is doing, that you are the founder of, that's working on a national contest to try to engage kids in writing. It's a national writing contest. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
Recently, we gained up with Book Cover Magazine, who was the founder of Are You the Next Bestselling Author, which is our contest. And it's an essay contest for ages 11 through 17, and there's a $15 entry fee. But many judges are going to be there. We're going to try to get some higher level people, as well as me. I'm going to be there. And to be considered into the contest, you have to be signed up before February 1st of next year.
February 1st is the day that the everything will be due.
Yep.
Do you have to get your, and this, you don't have to write a book.
That's correct. Right.
How long does the essay have to be, and what does it have to be about?
It must be 2 pages long with double spacing, and it has to be about world peace, the state of crime in American schools, eating healthy, or how social medias affect school, and it has to be original.
Okay, so it's an essay. Can they take a strong point of view? Can they argue their point of view that they want to see this change or that change? Or what are some of the ground rules?
Well, you know, it's a pretty open opportunity.
Okay.
Our objective really is to allow kids to freely express themselves. These are very important topics, obviously, right
They
now.
are.
And our hopes is through this writing contest that not only will we encourage these young folks to write, but also be able to help a number of them enhance the stories that they are maybe working on through the essay and turn those into books and assist them in publishing them as well.
Okay, so this is a way to introduce them to that whole world
Absolutely.
of publishing and writing. And
Absolutely.
what age group are you looking at?
Well, right now we actually are looking at 12 to 17.
12 to 17.
If you're 11 and you're going to be 12 before February 1st, then you can go ahead and register as well. But we are targeting the 12 to 17 is our age group that we're looking at right now.
But how are you going to keep Nkiyasi from winning?
Well, she'll be a judge, thankfully, instead of one of the writers. But she is very excited about participating, as well as mentoring any young people who want to reach out and talk to her about ideas on how to get started, maybe.
One of the challenges, I think, for young people nowadays is that, I mean, Bill, I think you'll attest to this. In our era, you had grammar and spelling and all these things pounded into you. Nowadays, because we have such easy access to the internet, a lot of the, that stuff doesn't get hammered in as much as it does now.
Exactly.
It's going to be a challenge, I think, for young people, especially at the low end at 12, to be able to have, the writing skills to be able to do this. How much help can they get from mom and dad for proofreading and...
Well, they can utilize whatever resources that are around them. As Nkiyasi stated, that it should be original work produced by the child, but similar to what Nkiyasi did in her process of writing books, she would develop her stories, develop her pictures, and then share them with us and or other people and get opinions. And so I would highly recommend that. However, I would like to say that, grammar and those things are very important. But what we're really trying to do is identify stories that need to be told from a youth's perspective. And as we stated, there's 4 primary issues that we're focusing on. But I'm sure that those open up a lot of other issues that children might be faced with, and hopefully we can assist them and bring a voice to those issues.
Well, like social media, it certainly covers the whole bullying in schools.
Absolutely.
Because it's
Right.
the most common way now to bully is through social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. And I look, the issue of criminal justice issues and over-incarceration and over-policing and all the other problems that we have with that. Those are pretty heavy topics for young people to contest with.
Right.
How are they going to find out about the contest? They can go to the website and get all the information they need. Do they submit electronically? Do they mail it in?
Yes. Well, right now you can visit www.writtenbykids.com. On that landing page, there's the word contest. You click on contest, and that will take you to everything pertaining to the contest. That has the rules, it has the application or registration form that you need to provide, as well as a PayPal link to be able to pay the $15 registration fee.
That sounds good. And what kind of prizes are there, or rewards, or awards do they get if they win?
Yes, one lucky person is going to have a very, very big surprise waiting for them. As of right now, what we have is about a $15,000 publishing package that we're going to provide to the winner. And that will have things such as branding, there will be mentoring from some of the New York Times bestselling authors that we're working with. They'll also get several copies of their published book, which we would encourage them to begin to use that to help develop a college fund that maybe they can kind of streamline and be able to continue to sell books to build that to kind of ensure that opportunity for them. So those are very important things that we want to encourage through this contest. It's not just about writing, it's really about the opportunity to share things that are very important that need to be told, and I think most importantly by children, because that's the voice that's not heard very loud today.
They're left out.
They are.
They're absolutely left out. They're invisible.
And one of the challenges, I think, is that they don't feel they have much power and that their voice won't be heard. So this is one way for that voice to be heard, because you'll have a permanent record, I'm assuming, of all of the entries and so forth online.
Absolutely. Yeah, this will be an ongoing contest. Every year we'll be holding it right around the same time. We've partnered up with several other companies right now, some locally, and we're really looking forward to partnering up with additional organizations as well as individuals who seek to support youth literacy. Again, this is a national contest, so the more support we get, encouragement that we get, the further it can go. And we're trying to reach all ends of the United States and every corner if possible. Our goal is at least 500 participants. I'm dreaming of 1,500.
Nkiyasi, what are you working on right now? What project, writing project are you doing?
I've been writing a lot of poetry lately, with things going on in my life, especially being a teenage girl trying to fit into society. I feel like a lot of girls feel like they have to change themselves to try to fit into a certain group, because, you know, that with all the social media and TV and things being shown to you, you don't really know who you are or who you're supposed to be. And I feel like I should put that message out there so that people can know that they can be themselves and not be judged for that. As long as you're happy, that's all that matters.
Well, one of the things that Lansing Online News does every April, and I think we're in our fifth year?
Fourth, I believe.
Fourth year is we run, that's National Poetry Month, and during that month we run a poem a day by local people. So we'll want to do that with you if you want. And that is probably our best promotion, isn't it?
It is. It's wonderful.
It's amazing how many people...
And Bill is only stunned to find out how much work it really is.
It's an insane amount of work, because two things, if you write poetry and, you know, the spacing, the indentation, that is so important to a poet.
Absolutely.
Try to do it on WordPress sometime.
Right. That's
it's
not
very, very difficult. And somebody has put together an app to be able to do that now. I'm going to see if I can find it, because it was hard for any poetry published online. It would break in the wrong place, and it would drive poets crazy.
App is for phone, Bill. It's going to have to be a plug-in or it won't work.
Right.
So you got to find if there's a plug-in version.
Yeah,
so
see, and it may not be a plug-in for WordPress.
Yeah, it may not be. No, that's exciting, though. That's always a wonderful thing, and we have such a variety of poets, but I think that would make you definitely the youngest one we've ever had.
Oh, yes.
I would think by far, yeah. So that'll be cool.
And it's amazing. We always try to find some historical people who from Michigan, you know, that are dead. I guess
Don't do
that. That you wouldn't have suspected.
Getting them to write that new material has really been a challenge.
You wouldn't have suspected to have written poetry. And this year, for example, and we're going to talk about this later in the show, not as poetry, but Edgar Rice Burroughs, who was the creator of Tarzan, wrote poetry as a young kid. Something he really liked to do. So since his poems are out of copyright, I'm going to run a couple.
Oh, great!
Run
That's
couple of
fun.
them.
Huh?
That'd be interesting.
A lot of young authors, that's how they start as poetry. They go back and forth.
They say you have to stop being a poet by 30, right? I mean,
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much. That you're going to write your best work while you're young. This is LCC Radio, WLNZ 89.7 here in Lansing. We're talking with Nkiyasi and Robert Helms about the upcoming contest, and I wanted to ask you, you like more creative writing. And so do you write essays as well? When you get all worked up about something, do you want to go and get it off your chest and say, this is the way the world ought to be? And
Oh, I guess so. I write about whatever I feel needs to be said, but I can be very opinionated, so I don't share a lot of what I write sometimes.
Okay.
But for this contest, I will not be participating since I am one of the judges.
Yes, that's going to be cool. So you're going to get to see what your peers are doing. I hate to tell you this because I was judge on, we have a contest, a writing contest at the School of Journalism, and it was offering a $6,000 package, right, yes. And the first year we had 4 entries, the next year we had 6. It's hard to get people to write.
Yes,
it is hard.
It is.
So this is going to mean a lot of encouragement. You're going to want to get the word out. Do you have Facebook pages? Are you tweeting about this?
Absolutely.
Okay, because that's probably the best way to try
Tweets
to...
really are, as much as I'm not real fond of the process, it's amazing how when we tweeted about the Historical Society's event, got an amazing number of responses.
Twitter worked well for you?
Yep.
I'm so...
That's interesting because out of the social networks, we've been really pushing a lot on Facebook.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of support, in terms of individuals liking and sharing and things of that nature, but it really hasn't amounted to much. But what I've had a tremendous amount of success on is LinkedIn.
Really?
Yes, because I've been able to target, authors and publishers right directly.
Of course.
And when we share what we're doing, just today I had 3 organizations, one in Tennessee and a couple throughout the nation who are very interested in partnering with us as well as sponsoring. And so again, our objective is to try to bring as much of the home team as we can, but we're very, reaching as far as we can.
I forget LinkedIn all the time. I mean, that and Pinterest don't come up on my radar very often, but that's,
Yeah, well, being able to target exactly who you need to talk to is, hands down to me, throughout everything that I've done so far, has been the number one.
I love the topics that you chose. I mean, those really are heavy. I mean, it sounds sort of like the Miss America question, tell me in 30 seconds
Right.
how we're going to achieve world peace.
Exactly.
I mean, it's hard to do, but
Exactly.
those are really important issues. I was thinking about some of the things you were talking about. I mean, we do have some role models out there. I was just looking at all the pictures of Kim Kardashian, her oiled body. I'm not sure that's what we really want to be promoting.
I hope that is the shark, where it,
Jump the shark?
Absolutely, that's
Yeah.
beyond belief what she's doing. But she makes so much. She makes $43 million a year off her
I know.
strange
And she has-
business model.
And her game app and
Yeah.
all that sort of thing. One of the things that I find very disturbing as somebody who talks about the media is that she has this little teeny tiny waist, and that's not genetic. That's because of what's called waist training. She uses a whalebone type corset, and you can actually distort all of your organs to do this. So I expect to see teenage girls now are going to be sort of
Yep.
maneuvered and manipulated into thinking that that's a cool thing to do.
I
I'm
think
so glad to see something like this as a sort of counterweight that says
Absolutely.
young people have something serious to say on real issues, and that's the kind of contribution that they should make.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally.
Well, this is, it's a great project because there's so many things going wrong in the world right now. And kids have great voices. They see things adults don't see. Adults are much more into the money aspect or the politics of it, and they don't get to the heart of the matter.
We're going to get you in here to read some of your poetry on air, too. That would be nice. We'll do that during Poetry Month. That would be very cool.
You can be here the first day.
Yeah,
You can
that'd be
kick-
great.
You can kick off.
Kick it off.
Kick it
Wow,
off.
that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah, that'll be cool.
It's been fun. The poetry we've had major poets.
I'll bet.
Michigan has some big time poets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That's great.
we mix them with local people and some of the really big poets. In
Are you going to
Michigan.
publish some of your poems, or are they for you?
Well, most of them are for me. I'm trying to give more of a positive message out there. So I'm going to try to share some of the more positive things I've written and put that into a book to publish.
Oh, that'll be great. That'll be great. Looking forward to it. That sounds wonderful. Now, people can go to writtenbykids.com. They can get all of the information about how to enter the contest. And I would think also this is something that writing clubs and teachers and
Absolutely.
even Girl Scout troops could,
Absolutely.
start to get involved in and think, if you have students who are talented in this area, this would be a wonderful thing for them to do.
Yes.
Give us the topics again.
The state of crime in American schools,
Ooh.
world peace, eating healthy, and how social media affects schools.
Wow. Eating healthy, saving civilization one tomato at a time. See, yes, that's